Hey guys, welcome back to Selenium with Java, April 2023 batch, online training session 11. In today's session, you can learn how to read and write the data from the Excel sheet using Apache PY and data-driven framework concept. As well, you will learn the keyword-driven framework and hybrid framework concept using in Selenium. So in the last session or session 10, you already learned, right, how to read the data from the Excel sheet and how we can, right, use the different kind of row for the same kind of operation, right, again and again from the Excel sheet. So in case you want to start with the data driven approach, so easily you cannot read the data from the Excel sheet. So you need to take the help from the Apache PY and you need to add all the jar file to your Selenium project, and after that you can interact. So here we will see, right, how we can read and write the data at the same time from the Excel sheet. So Apache PY is an open source library developed and distributed by Apache Software Foundation to design or modify Microsoft Office file using Java program. It is a popular API that allows working about Excel file using Java program. In short, user can read and write MS Excel files using Java. Apache PY is your Java Excel solution. So user need to use XSF if they need to read or write an OXML Excel file using Java or XLSX. It has many predefined method, classes, and interface. So what are the prerequisites for data-driven testing using like Excel sheet, and how you can read and write the data? So definitely first you will require the Eclipse ID, you require the test.ng, you require the Selenium jar file, you need to associate the Selenium jar file to your project, you require the Apache PY jar file, you need to associate the Apache PY jar file to your project, and you require the Microsoft Excel. To download the Apache PY jar file, I already let you know, right, in the last session. You need to go to the https py.apache.org download.html. So you need to download the zip file, you need to extract it. After that, there will be couple of folders will be there here in the Apache PY. So if I go to the Apache PY file, it will look like, sorry, it is Apache Maven. Yeah, this is the file for 5.2.3. If you open, there will be lot of jar files, so you need to associate all the jar file outside. Apart from that, you need to go to all the folder, you need to associate all the jar file to your project. So once it is done, right, then you can read and write, you can write, you can add the code, you can read and write the data. So you can create a project first, you can move the, you can after creating the project, you can go to the properties, right, and you can go to the Java build path, you can associate all your, right, Apache PY jar file and Selenium WebDriver jar file, right. You can go to the library, you can add external add variable library as well, and you can add the test.ng. Once this is done, you can create a package in the SRC folder, you can create a class. So that is the class I have created. Then what you need to do, suppose in case you want to automate a page, right, where you need to add so many lines of data, right, with same code. So what, suppose this is the site, right, Facebook page, I want to add, right, here email ID and password multiple time again and again and again. Okay, so this is the just basic example. So you can do any kind of stuff, right? Similar test cases or similar test if you want to run with the variety of the data, and after every time, right, you will be reading the data as well as you need to update the status. In case it is working fine, it will be pass or fail like that. So this is my test cases. I want to open the Facebook page and I will enter email ID, password. Maybe I will wait for some time and clear the field. After that again I will enter like that. So what I will be, what is my script? So this is my before state, test and after test. Before that, in that particular class, training session 11, so I already created some global variable. So WebDriver driver, and you already seen the last session that XSF workbook, right, XSF worksheet, XSF cell, that is the class available in the Apache PY. So I have created some variable. And the before this we are not doing we are doing only setting the properties for the Chrome diver, creating an object or instance for the Chrome diver, and we are maximizing the diver. And in the after test, we are just every time we are quitting the diver, right? That is the diver dot quit. Okay. So our test cases is that I need to open the Facebook page, I need to enter the value in the email field and password field. After that again I need to enter the email field, password field. After 3-second waiting time, we will clear the value. And I want to read the data from the Excel sheet. So this is my Excel sheet I have created, Facebook login credential. So here this is my first row which I have given for the heading. Okay, username, password, and here I will be updating the status. So in case you want to read and write both the thing at the same time, so definitely before starting your before running your script, you need to close your Excel. Otherwise, in case you want to write and your Excel is open, it will not allow you, right, to write it, because it will be read only mode. So that is the reason it will fail. So that is the way, right? In case you want to make sure that you are also want to do the read and write operation at the same time, you need to add the details, you need to close the Excel sheet. So here this is my first row, so I will not be considering this row. So that is the similar way I will write my code accordingly. And username I want to add username 1 2 3 4 like that, password 1 2 3 4 like that, and here status I also update it based on my requirement, in case it's passed, fail, right, all this stuff. So that is the way I will read and write. So this is the method here I have written. So I'll be opening the Facebook page, I'll be reading the data from the for the which is placed in my C drive, user Dell desktop, and this is my page. So this is my seed name and extension is .xls. So file equal to new file. After that, file input stream equal to new file input stream. Here I am providing the file reference, which is nothing but that file reference. After that, I am directly going to the workbook with the help of new accessible workbook, where I am passing the reference of the file input stream. Then I am going to the worksheet. So how I will be going to the worksheet? So you already need to go to the path here. After that, you need to go to the workbook, and with extension, then you will go to the sheet here, and then you will go to the row, column, and then you will get the cell value. So that is the way, in generic way, you can read the data from the Excel sheet. Similar way, you can go to the path, you can go to the sheet, you can go to the cell, and you can write the value here in the cell itself. So that is the way you will be reading the and writing the operation. So I'll be going to the worksheet. So get sheet at. Okay, in the index is 0 because only one sheet is available, so index is 0. I'll also show you in the upcoming slides, or in today's session only, whenever we'll be using that data driven or keyword driven or hybrid approach. I will let you know how to read the data, how to read the sheet with the help of the seed name instead of the indexing. So seed name will be always kind of string. Then I am going to the row, and I am using get last row number. So that is the way I am getting the row count. And here you could see, as and when I already getting the row count, how many row data is available, right? So here I'll be starting from this row, because my first row I am keeping it for header. So I'll be not be reading that row. I'll be reading it from here. So this first row is my 0 rows, right? That is the way Java will read 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here I want to write till the last row number when the value is available. So I am starting from I equal to 1, because I equal to 0, that part I am keeping it for my header and I am not using it. So I equal to 0, 1, I less than equal to row count I plus plus. I am going to the cell. So I will be going to the cell. I am going to the worksheet. Then for every I whatever iterate, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, I will be getting the cell value at the 0th index, at 0th column. So that is the way I will be adding the data from in the username field, and that I will be converting to cell type dot string, and I will be entering it. After entering the value, I will be clearing it every time, because the same field I want to enter again and again after clearing the value. That is the way I am adding my value in the cell number from the cell number 0 or row column number 0, which is equivalent to the email field. Then cell number 1 value I will be adding it in the password field. So that is the next line of code within the same for loop for adding the value in the password field. Cell worksheet again for every I get cell, which is nothing but cell 1 here. Then I am converting the cell to string type, because I am getting the string value only. Okay. Then I am identifying the element password with the help of the id equal to pass. I am clearing it first, and then I will be adding the value. Right. Cell dot string value. I am sending it. And every time after clearing the value, I will waiting for 3 seconds. So that is the way I have given thread dot sleep as 3 seconds. So my read operation or a data entry, right, in the username password field is done. But next question is that I want to read and write the data simultaneously using the same loop, because for same row I want to add the data here, right? In case it's working fine, I will be adding pass fail like that. So within the same loop itself, I will be writing the data how? With the help of file input stream, you will be reading the data, and with the help of file output stream, you will be writing the data. So file output stream, I am creating object equal to file output stream, and same file reference will be there. File reference mean in my desktop, the Excel sheet name is Facebook login credential and .xlss. So that is the same file reference I will be using. And I want to update pass in case my test case is getting passed. So how I will be adding the value? I will be going to the worksheet. I already know the path here. I will be going to the worksheet. I am creating a new cell here because I am starting from again I equal to 1, not from I equal to 0. So that is the reason it is not considering here. So I am creating a cell where I am creating a cell 2, and I am setting the value which is nothing but the test result, and then I am writing it. So that is the way I will read and write the data. I will read the data from this two column number 0 or cell number 0, cell number 1, and this is the cell number 2. I want to update my result pass. Now let's save it and let's close the Excel sheet. Now let's try to run the code and let's see how it is behaving. So it will run for 4 different variations of the data: username 1 password 1, username 2 password 2, username 3 password 3, username 4 password 4. So it will enter the data, wait for 3 seconds, it will clear the value, it will again enter the second combination, wait for 3 seconds, clear the value, enter the third combination, wait for 3 seconds, enter the fourth combination. After 3 seconds again it will close the browser. So that is the way my script is working. You could see test run equal to 1 and it's failed fast. Here it is working properly. Okay, so it is reading the data from the Excel sheet. Now I need to validate that whether the data also updated, past data also updated for every iteration, right? So what I will go to the Excel sheet again, I will open it again, and you could see now, right, the past value is updated here, status past. Okay, now you can remove this past value, and instead of now 4th iteration, I want to go for 6 different combination of data, right, 5 6 combination as well, and I will save it. Now in case I am running, so it will iterate for 6 iteration, and every time here the value also updated. That is the way it will work the read and write operation in the Excel sheet with the help of data driven approach and with the help of the Apache PY jar file. So now I will again try to run the code. So it will consider single test case only, but yeah, as here we are not using the data provider using testing, that is the reason it is considering still only single test case. Okay, so it will work for 6 different iteration, but it will still consider single test case, and every time it will try to update the value as well in the Excel sheet back. So 4th iteration completed, wait for 3 seconds, clear the value, 5th iteration, again wait for 3 seconds, clear the value, 6th iteration, after 3 seconds quit the browser. So my test case is fast, there is no failure. Now if you again open your test cases, right, you could see the update time here, right, last modified time 27/5/2003 and 7:21 p.m. Now if you open your Excel sheet again, right, you could see the status got updated. So that is the way in case you are having n number of row, and you can update the value accordingly. So that is the way we can interact with the Excel sheet, at the same time read and write operation. So what we need to do, we need to create a project, we need to create a package, we need to create a class. At the same time we need to, right, add the project as a test.ng, right, we need to add the jar file for Selenium WebDriver Apache PY, and we will be creating some global variable for WebDriver, XSF workbook, XSF sheet and cell, and we will be creating 2 methods called before test, after test. Before test is nothing but setting the properties for the Chrome driver, maximizing the driver, right, and after test is nothing but the quitting the driver. And here I will be launching the page, I will be creating a file class object, right, where I will be navigating to the file path along with the file name and the extension of the file. I will be using file input stream through which I am going to the workbook. I am reading the workbook and using the sheet index. After that I will be reading how many row data is available. Then I am starting with I equal to 1 because first row I want to keep it as a header. So from the second row on I want to read the data. So that is the reason, right, I equal to 1. I will go to the till last row where data is available. Then for the cell number 1 I will read the username field. For the cell number 2 I will be read the password field, and every time I will clear the value. I will wait for 3 seconds, and in the same loop I want to update the data. So I will be creating a new cell which is cell 2, where for every iteration, right, username 1 password 1 to like username 6 password 6, whatever data is given, I want to read the data first. After that I want to write back to my Excel sheet, which is called write and read and write operation at the same time. And in case you want to read, you can open the Excel sheet, that not be a problem, because reading can happen, reading of the data from the Excel sheet can happen in the read only mode. But in case you want to write back the data to the Excel sheet, write back, so you need to close it, otherwise it will throw the error, right? It will update will not successful. That is the way, right? We'll be performing read and write operation, right, using the data driven approach and using the Apache PY using and in Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so that is the another approach of data driven testing. It is not only about the reading the data, we can also write and read the data at the same time. Any questions? Okay, then two important concepts, because this is very very critical. I will cover you, which is the keyword driven framework and another is the hybrid framework. So same approach will be using keyword and hybrid. So hybrid is nothing but a combination of data driven plus keyword driven. So let's close it. Let's go to the presentation slide. So what is keyword driven framework? I want to perform the operation based on my accents or keyword, right? That is called keyword driven framework. So keyword driven framework is a technique in which all the operation and instruction to be performed are written separately from the actual test case. The similarity it has with data driven framework is that the operation to be performed is again stored in some external file, right, Excel sheet. So user can easily control and specify the functionalities they want to test. So your keyword library will be there, automation script will be there. You will be interacting in automation script with the help of keyword library, and after that you will be interacting with the application under test. So what is the advantage of keyword driven framework? A single keyword can be used across multiple test scripts, so the code is reusable. That is the reason we'll be creating the reusable keyword and we'll be calling them again and again and again n number of times. That is the concept of keyword. User can write the detailed test plan having desired input and verification data in the form of simple and convenient spreadsheet. In case some expert having expertise of scripting language used by the automation tool can create utility script well before the creation of the detailed test plan. Then the testing engine is able to use the automation tool immediately through the spreadsheet input method, and for this they need not master the concerned scripting language used by the automation tool. User become productive with the new testing tool for quickly, since they require to understand the format for use in the test plan and various desired keyword. This permit deferment or rescheduling of more exhaustive training or new tool at some more convenient time in the future. That is the advantage. So you will be right driving based on the keyword, and you will be creating the keyword one time. You will be defining the object of the keyword. After that you can use it n number of time in n number of test cases. So what is the disadvantage? So all majority of the framework disadvantages like that. Initially you need to spend the time, you need to learn the thing, you need to learn the framework, you need to learn the tool, you need to learn the relevant programming language. So the initial cost of setting up the framework is high and it is time consuming and complex. The tester is required to have get expertise over the scripting language of the test tool so that they can successfully create customized functions or method and utilities required for the application. Although the testament is valid for all other methods as well. The tester is required to learn several special format and keyword for creating the customized utilities required for the application. This process can take considerable time and can have adverse effect on the test plan development. However, this problem arises in the beginning only, and when the tester get enough acquaintance with the process, they are able to create test case much faster. So sometimes questions will come then. As of now you already learned about data driven approach and the keyword driven approach, then what is the basic difference of them? So keyword is easy to maintain due to more abstraction layer between test script, test data and keyword. So comparatively harder to maintain since the abstraction is only between the test data and test script in the data driven framework. So planning has to be extensive and precise for keyword driven framework, whereas planning is easy since only needed for the test data and the test script. So test data driven framework means you will be right running a same test case again and again and again with the variety of the data. So until your application is ready, you cannot write your script thoroughly, because you will be writing only one single script and you will be running that script with different variety of the data. That is the reason one must wait for development to finish before writing the test case in the data driven framework, because you'll be writing one test case. Whereas in the keyword driven framework, it is possible to write test script even before the product has finished development time. Why? Because you already know the keyword. These are the keyword. Like you will be performing input box, you clicking something, right? Launching a URL. You already know. So basic way you can try to create the schema even before the product development completed. And once the development is completed, you can update your code in certain places, or you can just change the XPath or other stuff. So that is the way, right? Keyword driven framework, you can even start early or the design of the schema before the product development completed. Whereas data driven, you are be running a single test case again and again with different variety of the data. So until your application is ready, you cannot create your script. So what is hybrid framework? So hybrid is nothing but a combination of data driven and the keyword driven. So hybrid framework in Selenium is a concept where testers are using the advantage of both keyword driven framework as well as data driven framework. It is an easy to use framework which allows manual tester to create test cases by just seeing at the keyword, test data and object repository without coding in the framework. So that is the reason any kind of framework, initial schema, right, to prepare it, it will take some time. But once it is preferred, right, other tester who does not have much knowledge, still they can work. Once your one or two test cases you are able to incorporate in the framework, then after that you can add n number of test cases with minimal effort. So here the keyword as well as the test data are externalized. Keyword are maintained in a separate Java class file, and test data can be maintained either in the properties file or the Excel file, or can be the data provider of a test engine framework. So what are the primary advantage of hybrid framework? The hybrid framework is built with several reusable module or function library that are developed with the following feature in mind. Maintainability. Hybrid framework significantly reduce maintenance effort because you are using a proper framework and your data abstraction, right, your layer is there with the code, your keyword, your data table, like that. So in case something is required, you can only go to that particular stuff and you can update it required. Reusability, as you are using keyword and data driven approach. So what is the keyword? You are defining keyword only one time and you can use them n number of time. So it allows to use the test cases and the library function. Manageability, effective test design, execution and testability will be there for the hybrid framework. Accessibility is easy to design, develop, modify and debug test cases while executing. Availability, it allows to schedule automation execution. Reliability, due to the advanced error handling and scenario recovery feature, right? Scenario recovery features. So reliability is more. Flexibility, framework is independent of system or environment under test. So you can use the same script again in the different browser, different, right, for different application, or maybe my application means like whether system testing or your production, or your UAT or SIT or ST, like, or end to end like that. Okay. So measurability, customizable reporting of test result ensure the quality of the output. So that are the different kind of advantages having. Disadvantages similar to data driven hybrid. So you need to spend additional time. Tester need to learn the thing, right? Tester need to be comfortable with the programming language framework. Then only they can start with the framework. So now let's go to the project where I already developed a keyword and hybrid framework. So how you can develop? First you need to create a sample, create a project, Java project. So you can give any name. So it's already there, keyword driven framework. That is the first part. You need to create a project. Then you need to associate all your jar file, means Apache PY jar file and Selenium jar file. Right here you could see, that is the reason in the reference library you could able to see all your jar file. That is your second step. You need to convert the project to the test ng, right? So the test ng, right, you can do it. Also all the annotation you can use it from the test ng. So first project creation, then association of all the jar file including Selenium, Apache PY to the project and converting it to test ng. Then you need to create a, right, Excel sheet. So it's already added here. So how you can get the Excel sheet? No, you can import the project and you can use it for your different. I already sent the the path where it is placed in the GitHub location. So if you go to the properties, how can you get the path? You can go to the source, right? You can go to the resources and you can get the path here where the project is kept. Now if you just copy the path and press T here, you can get the details here, setting, bin, right, all this stuff. So this is my Excel sheet I have first created. After your project is created, you are associating your jar file, right? You are converting the project to the test.ng, or you are adding the test.ng to your project. You need to create the Excel sheet. So so before creating the Excel sheet, so definitely you will be knowing what are the stuff you will be automating. So suppose say I want to automate the ready page. Okay, I want to open the page. Okay, maybe sometime I want to get the current URL of the title. That might be one test case. Second, I want to add username password which will be invalid multiple times, and you can click on the sign in button, so it will throw some error, right? That is the way. After that, you can click on the forgot password link. You can see that whether that is navigating to the different page or not. So these are the couple of scenarios. Similar way, you can add a number of test cases for the URL, and you can go to the other pages. After that, you can just identify the element. You can create more scenario. So that is the way you can create the scenario. So in the Excel sheet, I have created couple of scenario. If you open it, so my first scenario is log into the ready page with invalid credential. My second scenario is log into the ready page with invalid credential set to. Third scenario is click on the forgot password link in the ready page and navigate to the ready page. That is the total four scenario I have designed. And in the Excel sheet you can add n number of scenario. So that is your header, so that people can understand right how you are writing the test cases. Okay, so header, the first row number, first column is like test cases. So that is the object of the test cases. Second is the keyword, that is called keyword. That is the way you will be implementing keyword or hybrid framework. Every keyword you have to define. So you can give any name for the keyword. So I need to want to navigate to the URL, so I have given it, but you can change it. But you need to map it whenever you are writing your code. Then I want to set the text in case it's the input field, right? This is the input field. So I want to add the field. So I have given the keyword name is set text or action name, right? Then I want to click on the button or link here. So I have given the operation name as click. So this is called operation actions or keyword, right? So whenever I am navigating to the URL, simply I need to give the URL, so automatically I will navigate. I would not require to identify any object and properties. But whenever in case I want to add the text in the username field, so I need to identify the username field. So I need to give some name of the username field. So I have given the object name which I will be identifying the username field with the help of the username. And how I will identify the username field? So you can press F12 button here. Sorry, okay, F11. I need to press F12 button here. Okay, F12 button here. So automatically inspector thing will be coming, right? If you press F12 button, so you can go here, mouse it over, you can go here. So what is the thing? ID. So login ID will be unique. So that is the with the help of the ID, right? You could see login ID equal to login, it will be unique. Okay, other login might be there, but that is not the ID. So login ID is unique and is highlighting the element, right? You is highlighting the element. So with the help of the ID element locator, I will be managing. Okay, and what value I want to enter? Maybe I want to enter username 1 2 3 4 5, like anything. So that is the way. This is my set text. And second thing, similar way, set text is password. So I have given the object name as password, and I want to identify the password field with the help of the name element locator technique, right? Name equal to password, and I want to enter password 1 through 3. Then I want to click on the forgot password or maybe sign in button. So you can mouse it over. So sign in button is the name of the sign in, and you could see with the help of the name element locator I can identify. So name will be proceed. So that is the way. Similarly, set 2 I can enter the value, and set 3, right, test case 3, I want to open the page, I want to enter the value in the username password field, and after that I want to click on the forgot password link. So that is the variable name I have given, object name I am given called forgot password, and that forgot password I can go with that name or link, because it's a link. I can identify with the help of the link or a partial link. So it's a link, it is a button, right, or link click. So you no need to give any value as the input. The last test case is like navigate to URL. So that is my actions, and I am only simply passing the URL. So here you could see I have, whenever I am writing a test cases, those relevant row I did not given any value. So I will tell you the logic why I am not giving any value. Similarly for the test cases 2, right, relevant row is column is blank. Similarly for test case 3, relevant column is blank. Test case 4, relevant column is blank. So first test cases, I will be first launching the page with the URL. So I need to launch the page and I need to give the URL. For the second step, I need to identify the username field with any element locator technique. I need to add the value or set text or the enter its dot send keys, whatever value I want to enter. Password I want to enter the value. After that I want to click on the sign in button, so no value need to enter, and after that immediately might be some error might be coming. Similar way, test case 2 also same step. Test case 3, after entering the value in the email password field, I will be clicking on the forgot password link and I will be navigating to the other page. If I click the forgot password link, I will navigate to the other page. So that is the why I am doing. And the fourth test case, I am simply launching the Ready URL login page URL, right? Ready mail login page URL. So that is the fourth test case I am doing. Okay. Now how I will be reading the data, right? So definitely same approach. I need to go to the path of the test cases. I need to go to the seed name and then row and column and cell. That way I will read it. Okay. So that is Excel part is done. Next thing, you need to create a properties file. Object.properties, how will you create it? You need to go to the project, you need to right click, you need to click on new, you need to click on other, right? There will be something called file, right? You need to select the file, you need to click on next, you need to give the name as object.properties and you can create the file, properties file. So if you open it, right? So in the properties file, whatever thing, right, you will be mapping, that mapping need to be given in the properties file. So this is the URL. So I am hard coding it, not hard coding in my test step instead of or my Excel sheet, right? That URL. But because that URL will be called multiple times. But in case you are hard coding and tomorrow URL got changed, you need to update everywhere. So that is the reason I am creating a properties file. I am just typing my URL here. In case tomorrow that is changed by other URL, so I will simply update it here instead of updating multiple time again and again and again. And then next one, username field. So that is the object I have tried to create, a variable object. And you could see here I have given it login1. So why I have given it login1? So username field I am trying to identify with the help of ID element locator, because that is the object type. And then ID element locator corresponding value I am giving it here. So what is the ID element locator corresponding value? You could see login1. So that is the way I am mapping the object.properties file. Similarly, password field I have created the object variable called password. You could see here, and I am identifying the password with the help of the name element locator technique. So for password, what is the name? You could see for the password field, what is the name variable, right? Pass, PASSWD. So that exact value I have given, PASSWD. Similarly, for the login button, right, or sign in button, I am given the variable name called sign in. And what is the element locator technique I have identifying as per my Excel sheet? I am identifying the sign in button as a name. So what is the name here? Name is proceed. So I am mapping it here. Sign in button, proceed. And the next one, I am also trying to click on the forgot password link, so I can identify it with the help of link text or partial link text. So what is the link text? Forgot password. So you could see here I am trying to identify the forgot password with the help of the link, right? Link text, partial link text. So link, how is the value is mapping, is forgot password. So that is my second step, right? So I'll be creating the project, I'll be associating all the jar file along with Selenium WebDriver or Apache Pay, all the jar file to your project. I'll create the Excel sheet and I can create n number of test cases. I will create the properties file where I will be defining the URL, right? All the properties specific to that Excel sheet and the corresponding element locator value. So this is the next step. After that, in the SRC folder, I need to create a couple of package. So I have created operation package, test case package, and Excel import and output. So operation is nothing. We will be having two class to read the right properties, properties, and also to map with the Excel sheet. So if we click on the operation, there are two class created, right? You can create a package. After that, you can create a normal Java class, right? Java class. So this is the two class created: keyword operation not Java and read properties file Java. So if you go to the read properties file, so there is a properties class available already, right? So I'll be creating object or instance property class. I'll be creating a method called get object properties. So with the help of the input stream, I will be right reading the properties file placed here. So I am not giving any hard coded value. So instead of that, you could see here I am giving that value called user.directory. So as and I will be calling system.getProperties user to directory, you will be directly going to the file path and then object properties file. So system.getProperties user.directory will always give you the correct project path, means that is the path it will give you, right? So you already seen here how the where is the path is available. So this is the path it will always print out. So why I'll be using, or you will be using system.getProperties? Suppose that tomorrow you import my project, so project path will not be same. Instead of my desktop, Haradhan desktop, you will be having your own desktop, right, based on your name. So that will change. But in case you are giving it user.directory, so wherever you are placing your project, automatically it will take the default part of the project path. After that I am concatenating, giving slash slash, then object.repository. That is the way it is reading the object.repository file. Then I am calling the load method. I am loading all the object and returning p. So what is p? P is the object properties. So that is, there is a return type of the method is properties. So that is the way I am reading all the properties file data, right? Then my next class will create, which is called keyword operation. So I'll be defining global variable called WebDriver. I'll be creating a constructor to match this driver with the other driver in the other pages. Otherwise your code will not work. You need to remember. You need to create a constructor. You need to place this dot driver equal to driver, because here global driver and here also we are passing the argument. So these two drivers should match. So you with the help of this keyword. Otherwise it will create lot of trouble. Then I can create, right, based on the id xpath whatever I have given in the exit. That is the way I want to read it, right? So already so diver.findElement by.xpath, by.name, by.class name, like that. Okay, so it might not be easy, guys, okay, to understand the concept of the coding. You need to give some time to go through the code, to go through the video, then only you are able to relate it. Otherwise this is the framework concept might not be very easy. Okay, so I'll be matching first whether that object type whatever is given here, in case it is a matching with xpath, because Selenium will only understand the xpath, no other term. You can give any name but you can match it with here. In case object type equal ignore case xpath, so it will return by that one. So how it will return? Driver.findElement by xpath. Similarly it's class name, all the element locator technique you need to keep, so that it will be returning the driver.findElement by the class name. So that is your first method you need to read, right? Here you are passing the properties, means that notepad related details, sorry, properties class, object name. What is the object name here? That is the object, and object type. That is the way you matching it. The next method is I'll be creating a method for performing the operation. So here I'll be using a switch statement. So you could see I am right, whatever keyword I have given, I am trying to write the corresponding method. So what is click? Means I want to add some value in the notepad, or in the kind of text field. So I am defining diver.findElement this dot all this stuff. So it will click, right? It will enter the value. It will click. It will click the link. Then in case it is manual to set text after ignoring case, so it will enter the value. So you could see diver.findElement. It is entering the send key, and what is the value? This is the value it will enter. Now in case I want to navigate to URL, so you need to call driver.get, and you are getting the URL from the properties file. You could see p dot right get properties value. So you are every time you are giving the break. So that is the way you are trying to map your Excel sheet now. Somehow keyword able to map, value object you are able to map, object type you are able to map, and value you are able to map, but still we are not able to map the test cases. Then how will map it? So I'll be creating a package, and I'll be creating a class for reading and writing the Excel file, or mapping the Excel file. So you are seeing here, that is my class, and I'm creating a method called read Excel, where I am giving the file path. So what is my file path? My project, right? In my project it is already there. So in my project, and what is the path? Name. In my project test cases, that is the name. What is the extension? .xlsx. So that is the way I have written, right, file name and sheet name. And after that, if I go to the file path and file name, so this is my file path, project path, and this is my file name, testcase.xlx. And after that I will be going to the sheet name. Then I will map everything. So here I will be reading it with the help of the sheet name instead of sheet index. So you can learn all the approach. Then where the file class is faced, file equal to new file, path and file name. File input stream again. Then I am going to the workbook, right? And then in case it is matching with .xlsx mean 2007 format onward, it will be going to the workbook, XSF workbook. Otherwise, in case it is .xls, it will be XSF workbook. Right now, I think most of the Excel is only .xlsx, so you no need to worry about that part. After that, I'll be going to the sheet where I am just reading the sheet. So that is the couple of stuff I have written, and I'm returning data sheet. So that is the reason it is returning. Okay, so my Excel, I already get to know how to go to the path, what is the path name, file name. I am going to the sheet, I am going to the cell value. Now I will write my test cases. So first I will concentrate on the keyword driven part, then I will go to the hybrid part. So if I click here, that is my test cases. So I am creating a driver, WebDriver, and I am calling the before test and after test. So before test is nothing but the setting the WebDriver properties, maximizing the driver, and creating object orientation of the WebDriver, and after this is nothing but the quitting the driver. Then that is my own first test case will come. Rediff test rediff page. So here I will be creating the object or instance for all the class whatever created. These are the class, 3 class created, so I will be creating the object or instance. So read file Excel file keyword, that is the class created. I have created an object instance called file, right? Read properties file class created the object, and here I will be getting the method, calling the method get object repository. You could see get object repository, that is the method I am calling it, and the corresponding value I am storing in the properties class. Then I am also creating the object condition for the keyword operation .java, which is the operation, and then I am, as I already gone to the path and gone to the test case sheet, I will be, so test cases name sheet, I will be going to the sheet here. So XSF sheet, right? So in the after I go to the sheet, I will be calling that read Excel method. So this is the read Excel method I will be calling. Yeah, read Excel method. So in case you are calling the read Excel method, what you need to give? You need to give the file path, file name, and the seed name. So that is the path I am giving. You could see. So what is the path? System.set property user directory, that is my current path, right? Name test cases dot xlsx, that is the name here. And what is the seed name? Keyword framework, right? Here I am reading it with the help of the name instead of index. So that is the way I want to read the Excel sheet. Then I'll be getting how many row count data is available. So that is the another approach you can use, right? Guess last row number and guess first row number. So in case my last row number is 10 and first row number is 1, right? So it will be giving me difference called 9. So that is the reason I have added plus 1, so that it will give 9 plus 1 means actual 10 value. That is the another approach you can utilize. Then I am using a for loop, and I am starting I equal to 1. Why I am starting? Because I want to read here, because my first row I equal to 0 is my header. I don't want to read or perform any operation for the first row. So I will be starting I equal to 1, I less than ray count, I plus plus. Then as and when I already go to the seed name, which is the keyword framework, I need to understand the row, right? So I will be getting row, which is nothing but the for every I will be getting the row. Next I will be matching. If my get cell equal to 0 means I do not have any value here for those row, so I will perform the operation correspondingly. How it will match? It will be calling that method, which is perform method, which is coming from the read properties, read operation, perform method. So how it will perform? It will perform the operation, it will be perform. So it will perform the operation called click, set text, navigation. So how it will match? So it will doing the operation, it will identify the object, and it will identify with the help of the element locator, and it will also identify it with the help of the object properties corresponding value. And then it will, in case you need to click here, it will be click. In case you want to add some value in the Excel sheet, in the text box, you need to add it. So as and when my row does not have any, sorry, is not null, right, not 0, so then operation will happen. Okay, sorry, in case it is a null, yeah, then it will start. And in case it is a, in case first row value is available, so it is not perform anything, right, because it will my test cases, it does not have any corresponding keyword. So that is the other condition I have given, else here, right. If row get cell to string length equal to 0, right, so that for immediately it will start the test cases. Else, in case it is a value, it will just append the test cases name, right, with the help with the new test case started, and then I can mention test execution started. So that is the way it will perform the operation. So my first is nothing but the test cases, so every test case will be appending it with that part, new test cases, and then your exact cell value, and this is the part will be added. And whenever this is not having value, it will immediately perform the operation based on the different actions or keyword, right, you are giving here. Now in case you just close it, no need to save here, and if you want to run it, so it will try to run the 4 test cases one by one, and after that it will close the browser. Okay, you could see first it will launch the Facebook Medit page, it will give user ID password, click sign in, it will fail. Username password too, it will again fail, because that is not the valid. After that again it will go for third disk username password and click on the forgot password, and then again it will launch the ready page. So that is my 4 test cases, right, total 4 test cases executed, and there is no failure, but it will still consider the 1 test cases because this is my only one method got executed. So you could come here, that is the test cases first, and if you go to the console, right, you could able to see now how the test case execution happen. So now let's open it again, Excel sheet, then you can correlate it. So here nothing is available, so it will simply add that value, right. So it is adding, you could see here, if you go to the console, simply it is adding the value new test cases, then the test cases name, automatically it will take the default value whatever it is given, the test cases name, and it will add the remaining part. Here you could see, in case it is having the value, it will add new test case, then the test case's name, and the test execution started. That is the reason it is also getting added, concatenated in the first line. Then second line, navigate to the URL, right, but object is no object type is there, you are simply navigating to the URL. That is the way it is working. Third step, set text. Where I want to set text, username field with the ID, element locator, and this is the value I will be setting the text. Similarly, fourth step, password field, and I am clicking on the sign in button. My test case completed. Another test case again started. I am launching the URL. I am setting the test for the ID, username field, password field, and clicking on the sign in button. Third test cases, I am launching the URL, navigate to the URL, set text to the username field, password field. I am clicking on the forgot password link. So that is the way it is coming. So it's a link, so nothing, no value will be entered, right. So you could see here blank also, so that is the reason also blank. And what my fourth test case is, I want to navigate to the URL, simply I want to navigate to the URL, so there will be no object, no corresponding element locator, my test case is getting passed. So that is the way, right, you could, right, had n number of test cases. In case you are having more keyword, you need to define the keyword, you need to have more right, I mean element locator, you need to define the element locator variable here, corresponding element locator technique, and similar way you need to add it also in the object dot properties file, those variable and the corresponding element locator corresponding value. That is the way. Suppose tomorrow your login got changed to login 2, so you can only update here only one time. In case URL got changed, instead of the dev URL, you will be working on the like UAT environment URL instead of like site environment URL, site instead of U2 environment URL. So you can change only one places. So those kind of global stuff wherever it will be using, so you will be writing it in the object properties file, and you can update only one place, so automatically wherever it is called, it will be updated everywhere. So that is the way you can use the keyword driven framework based on the keyword. Now what is the hybrid framework? It is a combination of data driven and keyword. So keyword here we are trying to map with the keyword, means actions, or right, or the operation we want to perform. We want to launch the browser, we want to set the text, we want to click on that. That is the operation or the keyword. But hybrid is nothing, same approach you will be using, but here your test cases you will be writing in different way, right? You will be implementing the data driven approach, data provider, right? So you already see the data provider in last class. So here data provider, you will be giving it like the data name. Okay, you will be creating the object initially null. You are creating the class object for the read Excel file, right? And you are directly already came to the path of the Excel, which is nothing but the project path dot take case Excel path, and you are giving the name of the thing, right? Keyword framework. That is the way you are creating the going to the sheet here. Okay, then once you go to the sheet, you similar way you can get the how many active row data is available. Then you are starting with I equal to 0. So here approach will be different. So as and when my I am starting from here. Okay, then as and when, right, you could see I will be using two loop. One is outer loop, one is inner loop. So for I am first I am going to the I equal to 0, which is the row wise, right, and then I am going to the row count, how many row data is available, and then I am going to the column wise. So this is my column. So I am creating another loop called j. So column wise it will again go from 0, I equal to 0. So for every row and column I will be getting the object, means the value, corresponding value, and I am storing it into my data provider. And here I am writing my test cases. Test case name is test login, and I am giving the condition is if test cases not equal to null, as and when the value will be there, every time it will open the browser. So that is the stuff I have written here. As and when this is having the value means it is a test cases. So here browser will open. It is not there, but I am manually writing those steps. So as and when I am getting a new test case, every time I will be opening a browser. That is the way I will be changing my concept of the framework. Then again similar way I am creating the object or instance for all the classes whatever I created, and then I am calling the right operation method, perform method, whatever is already there in the keyword operation perform method, and I am matching with similar way. Now here each and every row will be called as data. So that is the concept of hybrid, means keyword driven as well as data driven. Now if you run your code, you could see, so total 4 test cases will be executed here, not be a problem. Similar way, right, first test case got executed, second test case again username password 2 combination, it will open the browser every time. As soon as it is getting the thing, it will open the browser. Total 4 test cases, so it will open the 4 browser. So that is the different kind of approach I have given. I have tried to build the framework with different kind of approach. So my 4 test cases got executed. Now you could see some differences here. If you go to the Eclipse, you could see your total 17 step run. Instead of 1 test cases, every step it is considering as a test cases. So that is the concept, because it is a data and keyword driven framework. Now if you go to the result, right, you could see here every row. Your math test cases name, that is the thing, test login, and it is login to the ready page with inbuilt credential, right? Now again you are going to the login URL, that is the test cases. First one is the test cases, that is the reason everything is blank. Second one, this is blank, test case part is blank, so first thing is blank, navigate to URL, second and third and fourth thing is blank, and again URL. So that is the way it is executing total 17 step, and it is giving you the result. Now if you go to the console as well, you could able to see here, right, the pass. So this is the test cases method name. Initially the test cases was there, right? So it is working accordingly. Okay, so wherever test case is available, remaining thing is blank. Wherever, right, set text username ID password is available, the first thing is blank, because first thing is for the test cases. So that is the way, right? Your run will be 1, but it will be executing all the 17 steps, and it is passed. So that you here you are using the both the approach called data driven and the keyword driven framework. So I will again explain the code because it is little bit complicated. First you will be creating a project, normal Java project you will be creating it. Second, You will be downloading all the Selenium jar file, Apache jar file. You will be associating to the project, right? How you can associate? You can right click, you can go to the properties, right? You can go to the Java build path, and you can associate, right? Add external jars. After that, you can associate the testng, right? Using add library. Here you can associate the testng. So this is the first three steps. After that, you will be creating Excel sheet where you need to define all your test cases. So you can create n number of column, but you need to map everything to your code. So first column, this is my header. I do not reading my header always. So this is my first column. So I'll be defining some effort, that is there is an asynchronous test case will be there. Remaining keywords or the other column value will be blank. Then second is your keyword column. You need to define which keyword, right? So that keyword you can give any name, but you need to map it in the coding part. Then third is your object name, means wherever you want to interact, that part you can give it, right? So this is my username field, password field. In case you are having 20 field, you can create 20 field. After that, with which element locator technique you want to identify, you can give it id, name, class name, which should match with Selenium only. And then in case you want to give some value, you can give it. In case it's click, definitely no value will be there. After that, you can create n number of test cases. Next, you can create a proper object or properties file. So here you can give an all the right URL, and for the username field you can give the corresponding ID value. For the password field you can give the corresponding name locator value, right? Exactly similar way you can give it. So in case you are having 20 field, you can just add 20 row, so that in case something need to be changed, you can update only one place, which is the object or properties file. Then you can create couple of package in the src folder. Operation, you can create a class called keyword operation.java, or you read the properties file. First you can read the properties file with the help of the input stream, with the help of the load method, and the properties is the class available in Selenium. And then keyword operation, you can create a method called get object. So you will be identifying like find dot element. Instead of that, you will be, in case of the matching with xpath, you will be calling that driver dot find element by xpath, by css, you will matching it, because Selenium will not able to understand, right, what is css, but you will be matching that css equal to css locator, right? So link equal to link text, partial link equal to partial link text. So link equal to object link text, by dot link text. That is the thing you will be calling from the Selenium. So that part you will matching, and you will matching, you will be creating a switch statement where you will be defining what is click. You will be identifying the object driver dot find element by xpath id or all this stuff. After that, click means you want to click. Set text means you want to send some value. So you will be sending some value. Which value? This is the value will be coming from here, right? Similar way, in case you want to navigate to URL, so you will be calling the driver dot get. Similar way, in case you want to select something, in case you are having some select drop down, so you need to call right from the select class. Okay, so you need to call select by value, select by index, right, or select by WebDriver reference. So that is the way I'll be creating the method. Then you need to define that read Excel file, how I'll be reading the data. So we'll be going to the file path, file name, and the sheet name. So what is the file path? That file path already placed in my project. What is the file name? testcase.xls. What is the seed name? Keyword framework. So that is the way you will be fast doing it, right? And whenever you will be reading it, right, you will be already, after reading it, you will be going to the sheet name, means already coming here. Then you will be reading the row, column, and cell, and you will be matching each and every cell with the objective, and you will be writing your test cases. So as and when your cell, right, equal to having some value, so you will be simply adding that one test case name and test case started, and in case it is having value, immediately you will be calling the relevant method, relevant step. That is the way you will be dealing with the keyword driven framework, but it's a hybrid framework, right? You will be reading you will be performing the operation based on the keyword, and as well as you will be, right, reading the different kind of row value. So that is the reason you need to use the testng framework concept called data provider, and you'll be reading the data, and as and when your right row, first row is having the value, immediately will be launch the browser, and after launch every time you will do the preparation. So in case you are having n number of tab, you can launch n number of browser. That is another approach I have given. But in the real time, based on your suitable, based on your availability, based on your applicability, based on your knowledge, you can apply any kind of stuff going forward. Okay. So I'll reiterate once more time. So you can use data driven framework not only for reading the data, but you can write the data as well. So you need to first have your Eclipse, TestNG, Selenium jar associated, Apache jar associated. You need to create the Excel sheet. After that, you need to create some setup method, tear down method to launch the browser, to quit the browser, and you can create your test cases. Then you can read and write the data from the same time. And keyword driven framework is nothing but it will drive your execution based on the keyword. So reusable component, you will be keyword will be reusable component, you will be calling them n number of time. So you'll be writing only one times and you will be using them n number of time. So initially cost will be more, but your framework will be, you need proper knowledge, you need the proper resourcing, proper format to start with. Data driven framework is more easier, but keyword driven framework might be more complex, but more abstraction will be there. That is the reason. Maintenance will be referred, will be less. Planning can be need to be done properly for the keyword, but for the data driven planning might be minimal. Keyword driven framework, you can start before your product is completed. You can create the skeleton only product is completed, so you can simply give your you can update your element locator value. But for the data driven framework, because same test case will be using for n number of variation of the data, so until your product development is ready or product developed completely, you cannot create your script, otherwise it will be repeated effort. So hybrid is nothing but the combination of the keyword and data driven framework. So there are a lot of advantages: maintainability, reusability, manageability, accessibility, availability, reliability, flexibility, and measurability. So definitely, as and when you will be using any kind of framework, data driven, keyword, hybrid, your work will be easier. Initial time you need to learn the thing, you would require the adequate resources, you need to spend the time to design the schema. But after that, in case you have come up with some 5 test cases, after that you can easily incorporate 100 test cases to 500 to 1000 test cases as well. So schema will be only one time, and then you can add n number of variables, n number of objects. You can map those objects, you can perform the operation, you can map the operation. Also, you can only one time you can define the methods or operation or the keyword. So that is the way you will be able to develop your framework from the scratch. Okay, that's all from today's session, guys. Thank you.